with every expenditure, you want to be looking at, is this going to give me some sort of financial return? Because if it's not, you have to really question, is that worthwhile doing?
Warning: Damian Andrews' growing revenue and profit, if implemented, will put more money in your pocket. Please use with caution.
Damian Andrews, growing revenue and profit. Taking a slightly different slant today, we're adding Lego into the mix and other toys like that. And what I'm talking about is having that free cash as a reserve. And where I'm coming from that perspective is I was at a friend's house and we were talking about, he collects little model cars he's a race fan, and the championship drivers, he collects those cars, which are very exclusive model cars. They're quite expensive. And he was looking at it going, the reality is what I've done here is I've spent, just on these cars alone, I've probably spent about $5,000 on those cars. And then has a Lego collection as well and spent a whole bunch of money on Lego. And I certainly can relate to that. One business I had was had a factory which had turned into a radio controlled car track and run that as a business. And I have a collection of about 250 radio controlled cars. Vintage ones that are in the box in my little collection, and I've got a collection of Lego as well. But what we were looking at, and we said, well, if we actually converted that, instead of buying that, we actually invested that money, what would that do? And that was something we went, wow, that would be a significant impact. And when we look at people like Warren Buffett, for example, who talks about having, he has low needs and to spend money. And when you look at how he's invested his money over time, compound interest has made a massive, massive difference. But from a business perspective, the principle that we want to get out of this is understand that, I like Lego and it's a discretionary item. It's fun. And there's certainly a lot of things that we spend money on that are fun, but really, really don't have an impact on our well-being, so to speak. I mean, whether I bought or didn't buy Lego, there's other ways for me to enjoy myself. I choose that. That's my choice. With business, it's different. We don't have that luxury of going, oh, that's a nice to have. It's what you want to be doing is have things that give you maximum benefit, maximum return. And if it doesn't do that, then it's not a case of spending the money. You need to keep that money for when you actually do need it, which can happen quite easily. And this is something that you really, really have to pay attention to with expenditure within business. It's different from that fun playing that we just talked about and those discretionary things. With every expenditure, you want to be looking at, is this going to give me some sort of financial return? Because if it's not, you have to really question, is that worthwhile doing? Especially if you let that start, that process of going, oh, we need this, we need that, and we start spending money on things that don't give us a really, really good return, then all of a sudden that creeps up and we're spending money everywhere and not where it needs to go. So from that perspective, have a really, really, really good look at expenses, because that's that part that's going to enable you to bring home profit. And the difference is, when you look at it, every dollar that you bring in sales doesn't equal a dollar that goes in your pocket, because the expenses have got to come out of that. But if your sales stays the same, every dollar that you save is actually a dollar that goes to your profit. So this is where managing those expenses is really, really, really important, because you want to make sure that you're looking at it and not going, oh, this is a nice to have. Yep, let's get some Lego here. This is great, using that as an analogy. Have a really, really good look at your expenses. Any time that you're going to put your hand in your pocket to pay for something, have a good, hard think about, what sort of benefit are you getting from this? And by benefit, we mean financial benefit. At the end of the day, it's got to flow through to financial benefit. Yes, it might be something for employee well-being. That's really good, and you need to do that, but you need to be able to trace that through to some sort of financial benefit. Damian Andrews for Growing Revenue and Profit.